Meta has been ordered to pay $375 million for child safety violations in New Mexico. The state's Attorney General Raul Torrez sued Meta in 2023 for misleading consumers about the safety of its platforms. It's the first standalone case by a state against the social media giant. Meta says that it will appeal. Attorney General Raul Torrez joins us this morning. Attorney General, thank you for being with us. Let's talk about what happened here, because this is the first time that a state has won against any big tech company in terms of trying to protect children. What's your takeaway?
Well, this is a landmark decision, and I think the jury delivered a message not only to Meta, but to the entire industry, that they expect a whole lot more in terms of creating safe spaces online for kids. And I think it's also time that Congress hears that same message and takes decisive action to try and regulate this space, because we want accountability, we want safety, and what we want fundamentally is a safer space and a safer experience for our kids online. You
overcame Section 230 motions that Meta and some of the other big tech companies have been protected by for decades at this point, where they say, hey, it's not our content, we're just the bulletin board. Going all the way back to that CompuServe case, we're just the bulletin board. You can't expect us to be moderating this content. How did you overcome those motions?
Well, I think that's what makes this so historic. They've been hiding behind Section 230 for over 2 decades. As you know, that was a law that was passed back in a totally different era when technology and the landscape was completely different. Since that time, they have spent an enormous amount on lawyers and lobbyists to try to ensure that they aren't held responsible. We took a different approach in this case, really focused in on the aspects of the product itself, the design features of the algorithm, the lack of age verification, the implementation of end-to-end encryption, all of which created an environment which was both dangerous for kids and addictive. But we also were able to show that the company's own safety team had been recommending for years and highlighting for years the dangers of these features. They were repeatedly ignored by Mr. Zuckerberg and other executives. I think fundamentally that's what made the difference in this case.
Yeah, I think the legal filings specifically that you're referring to, and this kind of jumped out at me as well, Zuckerberg's 2019 announcement to make Facebook Messenger end-to-end encrypted by default would impact the ability to disclose to law enforcement some 7.5 million child sexual abuse material reports. And that was what internal emails, internal messages from Meta highlighted, and that those were the type of messages that were being ignored.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it was interesting that they moved fully to end-to-end encryption the day after we filed this lawsuit. And then in the middle of the trial, they actually made the announcement that they were going to unwind end-to-end encryption. I think in part it was just one more aspect of the decisions that have been happening inside the company, which points to this default setting of prioritizing profits over safety in terms of ignoring safety recommendations from their own internal staff. And it's one of those things that really grabbed the jury's attention. I think it's noteworthy that this was a 6-week trial. The jury came back in less than a day. That's a pretty resounding message for Meta and for the entire industry.
Meta itself says that not only do they disagree with this verdict and they're going to appeal, but they say that they work very hard to keep people safe, and that it's pretty tricky to weed out the bad actors when you have such large platforms. What's your response to that?
Well, this is a company with a lot of technological know-how, with a lot of resources. And I think the message that the jury delivered yesterday is that they need to do a whole lot more to make their users safe, to create a safe environment. And fundamentally, they need to stop misleading customers and users about the safety of the platform.
This is not completed. The trial's second phase begins on May 4th. That is not with the jury. That's just with the judge. What will that judge be determining?
Well, that's to examine the public nuisance claim, which was bifurcated from the initial phase of the litigation. This will be a case made directly to the trial judge. We'll be talking about the public nuisance that we believe was created by the platform and the harm that flowed from that public nuisance. We could ask, and we will be asking, for more financial relief for the state of New Mexico to remedy that, to help support our kids and create a safe digital environment. But more importantly, we're going to be asking for injunctive relief. That means changes to the design features of the platform itself, real age verification, changes to the algorithm, an independent monitor to oversee those changes, and fundamentally a demand that they do business differently in New Mexico.
They've said they're going to appeal. What's the next step in the appeal process? What court does that land in front of?
Well, we're focused now on the second phase of the trial.
I realize that, but what's the next step?
presentation.
We're about out of time. I just want to know where Meta's options are.
Well, Meta always has the option to appeal this. My recommendation to them would be to focus on the message that was sent by the jury and spend that time and money on making it safer.
Attorney General, where is the appeal? Where does it land? What court?
They would have to go through the Court of Appeals here in New Mexico.
And then to the Supreme Court if they lose there. Attorney General Torrez, thank you for your time.